Thanks to BoomVOX for the very appropriate mood on that, their latest release, Dark Journey. And although it may seem a lot less relevant to our present developing crisis in Suriston, WRAT's field reporter Alan Ngolo is on set at Universal Hollow Studios' latest impending immersive blockbuster, Subversion. Alan, it seems that the storyline for this frightening thriller is eerily similar to what the world has gone through over the past years.
It may be a little hard for you to hear me, Jessica. They are in the middle of recording a very tense and exciting scene. But I can assure you, in this story, we are all going to recognize more than one major threat to the world, and we'll of course have a chance to play a vital role in the fight for our planet's survival. As you will know, the manipulation of human order by some insidious power to suit their own purposes is the basic meaning of the title of this production. They are not very forthcoming here at the studio as to exactly who or what is doing the manipulating, but the forces they bring to the table are formidable, and the human struggle itself suits the purposes of that manipulating entity, steers the human race directly along the path to ultimate destruction, subverts them in fact through their own actions, insidiously one might say, invisibly and undetectably.
Alan, it sounds truly unsettling. Do you have any idea of what the specific plot elements include?
Only what I've been able to see for myself, Jessica. You can be sure part of the threat that guides humankind along the carefully concealed path is weather-related. Massive storms like those we battled only a year ago. Complete destruction of the ozone layer. Thinning of the atmosphere.
You're telling me that all these elements are part of the subversive efforts of an unknown entity in the movie, Alan? Are you making this up?
There is no need. The movie has been in production for over 2 years. They had already finished filming the immersive storm scene 3 months before Zulu 11 struck. And as part of the resolution of that segment, audience participants must help, you guessed it, to disable space-based devices which are driving the storm to frenzy. And Jessica, the next major threat leads to reduced oxygen levels in the atmosphere.
I can see why you told us this was a report that had direct bearing on our present world situation. Alan, where did they get the script for this story? Who wrote it? And what is it with prophetic revelations today?
Unusual, but perhaps not so surprising in view of how closely the script's events seem to track the world's reality. Universal are not releasing that information. Wait until the movie is in theaters, they say. All very top secret.
And what's the release date?
December 25th, Jessica. This coming Christmas we will learn, according to Universal, just who or what has been subverting our planet for the past century or more, and where it is taking our species.
Thank you for this, Alan. I'm sure our listeners will be just as unsettled by this as you and I certainly are. And Universal Hollow Studios will be more than gratified to have created just such a mood in the populace. Subversion in truth.
In keeping with this strange sensation of a movie that seems to have predicted the future, Prophetic's latest release, Force One, sends an eerily appropriate message.
We're excited to let you know that a call has just come in from our missing reporter, Carmen Electra. Carmen, thank God you're okay. I think God played his part indeed, Allison. I've never come so close to death as I did in those moments after that first hover struck the Luxair liner. So tell us how you escaped and where you are now. The first impact was near the front of the liner, port side, and the hover cut a swath through the interior cabin before exploding when it struck the forward bar. I was near the tail, but as far from the impact as you could get, and as soon as I heard the first screech of metal, I dove for cover. That dive probably saved my life. When the hover exploded, a terrific blast of debris, metal, glass, everything else swept through the liner, and anyone not lying flat was pretty much killed instantly. The explosion and weight shift threw the liner into an even wilder spinning dive, and I simply slid out the lounge door, across the viewing gallery, and over the edge. You went into free fall, Carmen? Just plummeting towards the city? Would have been that, Allison, but the liner was lit up like a bonfire by this time, and just as I slid off the edge, I spotted an out-of-control hover diving towards the hard deck, just a few meters below me. I landed on the roof as it spun lazily by, luckily away from the Luxair liner, which took another jarring impact just as I latched on. A good thing I'm a passionate spider climber. Always have my infinitewebs on my wrists and ankles, and they held me secure as the hover shook and spun from the new Luxair explosion. So now you're spread-eagled across the roof of a diving, spinning, uncontrolled hover, heading for hard buffer. Hopefully in a different direction to the liner's path. I'm almost afraid to ask, how were you even breathing by this time? I understand the air was very thin up there. To be honest, I don't know. Like I said, God played me a few good cards this evening, Allison. Maybe not every cubic meter of that area was uniformly oxygen deprived. Maybe adrenaline kept me going with minimal oxygen. I really don't know. But I had enough wherewithal left to crawl over the hover's roof and inside through the open window. The vehicle was empty. Whoever had been in there, they were gone. My guess, with both windows open, they passed out and weren't strapped in or panicked, released their security straps, then passed out and fell out the window. So, once inside, I nearly passed out as well. The exterior oxygen level must have dropped again. I toggled the window controls and started the air system on battery. About 10 seconds later, we hit the hard buffer, and the collision systems buffered the impact. So, you're in this hover now? Sure am, Allison. I started the hover as soon as the surrounding air enabled the engines. Took some fiddling with my headset to let me call in my report, but in the meantime I started a hunt for survivors and was able to pass 3 injured pilots on to emergency squads when they arrived. And one of the hovers I found abandoned was a Vulcan Whisper model. I commandeered that. Good against any other thin air issues, if I keep the compartment sealed. Now I'm on my way to an access ramp to get down to street level. There's going to be a lot of very badly injured people down here, and maybe some miraculously survived and could use my help. Miraculously? You mean like you, maybe? I think there'll be very few, Carmen. Make sure you take care of your own injuries first, though, and just keep in mind how lucky you've already been tonight. The odds of your surviving any further close calls, well, I wouldn't be placing any bets on it. I'm well aware of it, Allison. But kind of feels like I was chosen to be out here tonight, in this place, at this time, in this hover. Who else could have made it so far in one piece? Without my spider gear, I'd have slid off that roof like anyone else. No, I'm here for a reason, and I'm going to find it. Keep us posted then, Carmen. Good to have you back.
When life gets in the way of keeping fit, Bodycore has your answer every time. Our latest exercise system, the MyoStim Elite, will fulfill every athlete's exercise needs without forcing you to take time out of your busy schedule to do the workout. The MyoStim Elite can be set for your own personal training requirements, from cardio fitness to muscle massing, swimming tone to distance runner's endurance. Bodycore's MyoStim Elite can do it all, from the comfort of your own cubicle or wherever your day takes you.
The system comes complete with its own custom backpack for easy portability, weighing only 4 kilos, and it's entirely self-powered. Drop by the nearest Bodycore fitness location for your free trial. Your body's health is our mission at Bodycore. Let us help you shape up today.
As Carmen defies death in the airspace above our city, Graciela Perez has descended below street level in Surston's Secure Administration Center, the newly completed SSAC, located beneath Millennial Hypertower 17 in the city's downtown core. Graciela, what have you to tell us about the readiness of Surston's leaders to guide us through this most recent crisis?
Vlad, it is all business down here, and the skeleton staff of this complex is slowly growing as the extent of the threat to our megalopolis becomes clearer. The SSAC is comprised of several independent modules, most of which are left dark as their more extensive counterparts on the surface handle normal activities. These include traffic and transit control, ground, aerial, and subsurface energy management, normally entirely controlled by SPS from their central operations, and of course city security and policing. Surston's security always have 2 officers on patrol down here, but their main dispatch and emergency services operations are normally headquartered at the central SSO station in Surston North. There are always at least 3 city operations staff scheduled down here to keep all backup systems necessary for the city to run in a state of readiness, in case a switchover is needed. And at least 2 members of our city council are assigned here at all times. If any surface event disables or removes all normal administrative channels, full authority transfers to them.
And this new center was built over the past 12 months as a direct response to the Zulu 11 event.
I believe there had been talk of such a center for many years before Zulu 11, but yes, I suspect the storm was the final impetus that triggered action. And an impressive facility this is, Vlad. Built in the shape of a giant wheel, kind of like a space station, sitting just below the oversized Stellus flywheel built into Millennial Hypertower 17. The central hub is administrative operations, always manned by staff and council teams. The outer edges house the various ancillary functions: traffic and transit, energy, security, emergency services, and communications. Of these, normally only communications is active, a reasonably comprehensive module which allows connection to all external networks, but also monitoring of each local broadcast channel, including WRAT. Also capable, of course, of emergency broadcast through any of these media.
And now that our situation is more difficult, the facility is becoming more active?
Every module now has at least 2 staff, and all operational centers are in readiness for emergency switchover if required. The facility has, as you might imagine, all needed accommodation and cafeteria capacity for upward of 50, and I believe we are now at about 20. And as you might expect, it is built as a fully secure and self-sustaining bunker, so it can remain operational even in an extreme situation.
We appreciate the report, Graciela, but we of course hope there will be no need for full use of the SSAC.
I'm sure that is what we all hope, Vlad. The live-fire match at Underworld Heap is apparently heating up, right along with the strange crisis Surston's facing. Tasha has an update. Listen, the people of Surston are under dangerous threat once again, so I'm sure they can use any good news they can get. And the news from the heap is certainly that, if a little unusual. Ghost Fabian has a report for us. Ghost?
Overwhelming, Tasha. That's what our tail thrashers are at the heap tonight, and it is truly electrifying to experience the thrill of this match. The game is scheduled for 2 hours of non-stop action, and so far, 15 minutes in, Banshee's squad has wrought total destruction on the Osaka Oblivion. 20 frags in 15 minutes, with the Oblivion getting not one, unable it seems to track the elusive movements of the Thrashers. But in spite of the amazing dominance of our team, an element of suspense hangs over this arena that is creating a level of anticipation I have not felt in years. Immediately after going down for the second time, the 00's elusive star, Cataclysm, vanished. He has not been seen and has not been fragged. So no slams yet, since that surprise opening volley by the Thrashers prior to game start. We know she's got something up her sleeve, and it can't be good for... There it is, Tasha. The first time a slam has been scored against our Thrashers here in their home arena. Cat leading a carefully laid, coordinated ambush that the Double O must have been planning all along, taking down the entire Tail Thrasher squad inside a few seconds. I know the Thrashers will regroup and bring the game to Cat and her squad, but this has the makings of a classic battle, Tasha. One everyone here will remember for a long time.
Let's hope it's just the match they remember, not the weather crisis, and that they remember it as a victory for the Tail Thrashers. Allison, back to you. Absolutely, Tasha. But it sounds like the Oblivion mean business, and the rivalry between Cat and Banshee could create quite the fireworks at the heap tonight. Go Thrashers! We've been able to get in touch with Melanie Ross, who's trying to assist in management of the crisis at Sewerston's North Terminus Lifestyle Center, following the freak lightning blasts that blew the center's main power systems. Melanie, can you tell us what's happening?
No, this one's the priority. Arterial bleeding. Yes, I've already got those 3 stabilized. Sorry, Jessica, this place is in total chaos. We have over 50 dead, many severely injured. About 25 trained in emergency medical response, mostly fire crews with a couple of doctors from the crowds. I'm up to my elbows in triage care, so can't talk long.
How are the remaining crowds being managed, Melanie? I'm sure the recent explosion must have set off total panic.
Thankfully, security and staff here have kept their heads, evacuated many to the still functioning subway system and sent them to other destinations. We've probably a couple of thousand still here, 20 security and about 40 staff. Of the public remaining, most are injured or in priority sequence to be treated. We've had 3 more lightning strikes that have momentarily killed the emergency power, but so far it's come back every time. Nobody here knows much about power control hardware, so when I'm done with the emergency care, I'm elected.
Yes, I remember. You had extensive training during your military career. Power and communications were your specialty? If anyone can keep it all going, I'm sure you can.
We'll see. It's been a long time, with many years of li-fi in between. But for now, I think I'd best... Jessica, there's something going on over near the main subway axis. Sounds like somebody going crazy with a grappling. No, correction. A whole gang of people with guns. Shit. Hey, fireman. Yeah, you. This one is critical. Put you on top of the respiratory. Jessica, looks like I'm called to the next crisis sooner than I expected. And not the one I expected either. I know.
If you can't deal with it, Melanie, nobody can. We all wish you the best of luck.
Located in our hidden warrens far beneath the city, WRAT's squad of intrepid reporters infest the city, unseen and unlooked for. Combined with the magic of video, we are the eyes and ears of this metropolis, and we're here 24/365 for you.
This is WRAT, AM1700 WRAT.